Hi everyone, in the previous sessions we have gone through Python data types, Python operators and expressions, Python conditional statements. In the today's session we are going to discuss about Python data structures, which are very important and useful in the real-time applications. So first let us understand what are Python data structures. So Python data structures are basically is a better way of organizing our data. So let us understand this definition with a simple example. Here we have two types of data. One is an unorganized data and another is an organized data. Here we can see the unorganized data contains the elements which are arranged at the different locations where it is hard for us to understand and access the values. When comes to the organized data, it contains a neat structure which has a tabular format, and we can easily classify, like integer has an example of 1012 and string has an example of Python and learn, and decimal has an example of 56.69 and 60.89. So this we will say it as unorganized data here. In the same way, the Python also have the data structures like list, tuple, set, dictionary and so on, where the data is arranged in an organized way. So let's come back to our presentation again. So we have understand what is an organized data. It means we have a neat structure where we can easily store, manipulate and access the data. So some of the common applications of Python data structures are web development, data science, gaming, finance, deep learning and so on. Without any further delay, let us understand or discuss about the types of Python data structures. So basically we have two types of Python data structures. One is built-in data structures and other is user-defined data structures. So built-in data structures are nothing but where already Python knows about these data structures. So for example, open our VS Code and open a new file and go to the Jupyter notebook. For suppose if we type list here, by going on it, see here we can see some of the information that is related to list, as it is a mutable sequence, which means we can change it easily. This sets as a best example of built-in data structure where Python already knows about this data structure. So that we will say it as, here we can say list as an built-in data structure where the Python already knows about it. Okay, coming back to our presentation. So that is about the built-in data structures where the Python already holds the data. When coming to the user-defined data structures, where we will design it, which means the Python doesn't know about the structure we are going to define. For example, class student, where this is my user defined. So how we can say it as a user defined. Here the Python doesn't know about the student. For example, if I write list here, so here the Python gives me some information which is a built-in data structure where Python already knows about it. When it comes to the student, it doesn't know anything about the student. So here in this class student, where my structure needs to have two things. First one is the student name, and the other is roll number, where so it needs to follow the same order, which means first it needs to take student, and then the roll number. So for this, let me have a constructor which is automatically called when the object is created for this class, where we have a self as a parameter, where I need only two parameters. One is student and the other is a roll number. So I'll mention it as student comma roll number, or else a student underscore name, student underscore roll number as a function. So here first I'll give self dot student underscore name equal to student underscore name, where here the self dot student name indicates an object. Here the self dot student name indicates an object here, and it stores the value. And it is permanent too. Whenever the constructor is called, the object is called every time. So in the same way, the roll number also works. So this is also one of the object. So I want to print the data when I have given, so I'll use another function for printing and pass the self as an argument. For printing the data, and I pass self as an argument. To it. So how can I print it? So I'll use if as a format. First it gives me the name is, so I'll use curly brackets to access the value. First I need to have a student name, and then I need to have the roll number of the student. So this function will print me the data whenever I have entered. So this is a user defined data structure where we have a student as an user defined, where I'm giving and I'm specifying the structure. First it must take the student name and then roll number. So if I give the data, so for that I need to call the class, which is a constructor. So I'll pass the, here we can say student name we can give as any, and the student roll number we can give as any. So I'll give some name as Krishna and its roll number 55. So in order to, so here the object is created for the class student. So these topics will be covered in the upcoming session. So just to see how the data is printed, so s dot if I say fun, just call it, and if I run it, it will be show the name as Krishna and the roll number of the student is 55. That is a small example. So that is about the user defined data structure, where the user will specify the structure. It means first my structure needs to take the name and then the roll number. So that type of structure will be handled by the user defined data structures, which are not handled by the built-in data structures in Python. Data structures are classified into built-in and user-defined, where the built-in and user-defined have a subcategories, where the built-in has a list, tuple, set, and dictionary. When it comes to the user-defined data structures, we have tree, linked list, hash map, graph, stack, queue, and so on. Here are the best examples of data structures in Python, where we have list is widely used in the WhatsApp, Telegram, like we will send hi, hello message to our friends, our relatives, our colleagues. When it comes to the tuple, where we have a location, when we book a cab, we have a location where we have a longitude and latitude at the back end. In that case, the tuple is used. And comes to the set, when comes to the set, where we have an Instagram, Twitter, where we will basically use the hashtags to get more reach. So when it comes to the dictionary, where we will have LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and whatever, whenever we log in, we basically use the username and password. And also when coming with the Facebook, in the same way we will also give the credentials, and we can easily log in. Those type of data can be stored in the dictionary at the back end. When coming to the user defined data structures, where we will have a stack, queues, linked list, tree, graph, and hash maps, which are very important and advanced topics in Python that we will. That's all about the today's session. In the upcoming sessions, we briefly discuss about each subcategory of built-in data structures and user-defined data structures and lot more things. This is Gayatri from Learning and Expertise signing off.